Welcome to That's My Biz, the Internet Business Showcase, where we bring exposure to products, services, and special causes of local businesses and organizations. Thank you so much for joining us. We are coming to you live from the BizLinks TV studio. Excited to have you all join us, as That's My Business show, where we love to promote local businesses and nonprofits to share information with you about their cause or their services. And I have a great guest with us today, Miss Alena Edmondson. Thank you so much for joining us.
Well, thank you so much for the invitation, Pamela.
Absolutely. And I'm going to give you a little bit about Alena. She is an entrepreneur, author, executive life coach, corporate and small business trainer. She is the president of EDN-Abundant Life Coaching and the co-founder of the Entrepreneur Development Network, an entrepreneur training and development firm based in Atlanta, Georgia, that specializes in business plan development. Drawing on her new book, which I am so excited about, when it comes out this summer, Who Are You Really? Alena will show you how to tap into the power within to produce any condition you desire for your life or business. As a certified law of attraction coach, Alena helps her clients understand how to use the law of attraction in their lives so they can take action in order to achieve their personal, professional, and financial goals. Wow. So the first thing that I want to know about, because we've all heard of the law of attraction, but I think a lot of people still don't really know what it is. So tell everyone what the law of attraction is.
Absolutely. First of all, I would like to start with saying what the law of attraction isn't.
Okay.
Many times, especially those who've watched The Secret, think we can just think and things will just appear.
Right.
But the law of attraction, first of all, it doesn't give you what you want. It gives you who you are.
Okay.
Which really, that's what really started me to writing a book. Who are you really?
So that sounds like more work.
For instance, you wanted to start a business. But you're feeling like you don't have the capability or the successes in the past. You may have had failures. You're feeling like you can't do it, but you're saying that you want it.
Okay.
The law of attraction is matching your feeling. So to start off with, what the law of attraction does is thought produces a feeling that generates an emotion.
Okay.
And I like to look at emotion as energy in motion, which is what activates the thing that you're desiring, okay? So what that emotion does is bringing your result. So if you're emotionally feeling, I'm going to fail at this, I can't do this, the law of attraction say, okay, let me give you something else to feel frustrated or overwhelmed or, disappointed about. And your dream is further back. But you say, well, I'm thinking about it. But what it is, you're generating a feeling that's producing the lack of it.
Okay. Wow, that is something. And I've never heard it quite described that way. So it's added a new take. And I think also, because where I interjected and said, that sounds like more work. Before, people just thought, okay, let me just think really hard about what I want and it's going to come. But now it sounds like you have to work more on yourself in order to really receive what it is. Wow.
And in most cases, we know that, and the Bible speaks of this a lot. That's what really drew me to the law of attraction. Another word for the law of attraction is the law of love.
Okay.
Like attracts like. That's the actual definition is like attracts like. So what are you really desiring? Do you feel like you can align with that desire? And so now with the belief, what is a belief? A belief is simply a repeated thought. Okay? Remember I said a thought produces a feeling that generates an emotion. So what have we been thinking? Most of our thoughts are subconscious. 95% of them are subconscious. So consciously, we're saying, well, I'm thinking about more money. But what are you feeling? You're feeling the lack of it. The reason why you're saying you want more money because there's a lack of it. So our challenge is to align with our feelings or to create another belief.
Okay. And that's where I'm sure coming into the executive life coaching helps people with that. So tell us about that and how you work with your clients.
Well, what started me in coaching, because for over 18 years, as you know, my husband and I, we started the Entrepreneur Development Network, and we've graduated thousands of entrepreneurs. However, I held a couple of focus groups, and out of those focus groups, I noticed that about 35 to 40% of them put those business plans on the shelf.
Okay.
And it's like, okay, why guys? Why did you put this wonderful business plan on the shelf?
Right, because they walk away.
Exactly.
And I'm just going to do the plug for it. They walk away with some real, an actionable business plan where they can take that to the bank. And get finance for their
millions
business.
and millions of dollars later.
And
we
you're
have
finding
startup
that those
funding.
businesses aren't taking advantage of it.
Absolutely. You know why? The number one reason is that they didn't believe they could. When they saw it got to the cash flow projection piece, where am I going to get $250,000 from, right?
Right.
And so they said, oh, forget it, I'll just stay on my job. But what encouraged me more is living with my wonderful husband. You know, I often say I'm married to an entrepreneur. Because the entrepreneur is a spirit. You know, it doesn't matter what type of business you start, are you true to your desire?
Right.
Well, my husband, 18 years, being in business together, but prior to that, you know, he was terminated from KFC. Oh, I should have said it, but anyway, he was terminated because he was classified as a workaholic, right? But from that, he became the nation's first African-American owner-operated Denny's franchise. But I said all that to say, through the process of him being going from unemployment to deployment, it was the way he thought. He thought like an entrepreneur. You know, and the moment he aligned with that belief, things started to unfold. So our story is, we were able to purchase a $1 million restaurant with $251 in our checking account. Not our we didn't have a savings account.
Wow. No savings, no credit card out of your checking account.
So the law of attraction, I think where we get mixed up is, okay, we're looking at, I know what I want, or most people don't know what they want, because when I ask, what do you want? Well, I know I don't want this. Okay, that's contrast.
And then they're focusing on that.
What they don't want.
Right? Okay, I'm with you.
So now, the law of attraction is it's a 3-step process. Ask, believe, and receive. So, of course, we get mixed up or challenged in the belief part, but the receiving part is another place where we get challenged. We become challenged. And what I mean by that is we begin to get caught up in how is it going to come? Where is it going to come from? Where am I going to run it from? And we get caught up in that spiral. And then we start attracting from that space versus, well, where it's coming from is not our part. That's God's part. He is the king. He is the creator of the universe. So, you know, we operate our businesses from our core values, which are based in biblical principles. And God says, ask and it is given. So what we have to do is allow the thing to be attracted to us or to flow to us. And how do we allow it? By operating in joy, love, belief, knowing, because there's a difference from believing and knowing. We've got to move from believing to knowing, because I have asked. God has says yes. Where it's coming from, that's his part. My part is to align with my belief. And so that's what I help my clients do, is release, eliminate the contrast. And let me just speak to that for a moment, because we live in a contrasting society. Everything is based in fear. That's contrast. So I help them to identify the contrast in their life and say, you know what, this is good. Because contrast helps us to become clear. See, when we act, we must act with clarity. You know, the Bible even says the double-minded man is unstable in all his ways and can expect nothing from God. And double-mindedness is saying, I want this, but I don't believe I can get it. I want this, but so that's double-mindedness. So I help them to eliminate the contrast, to help them to become clear, crystal clear. And the moment you're clear and begin to affirm, visualize, all of those other things come in alignment. Because then I love the way Albert Einstein puts it. He says, imagination, as it relates to imagination, your imagination is your preview of life's coming attraction. So it's like a movie screen. I tell one of the processes that I have my clients, pretend you're in a movie and look up at the screen, because you are the creator, the producer, and a director of your life experience. So if you don't like what's going on in your life, recreate it.
Okay, now that leads me into, and we'll repeat again, ask, believe, and receive.
Yes.
So remember that part. And then, now I think where a lot of people get caught up is they get caught up in the day-to-day of life. So now tell me a little bit about what is or how do people achieve this work-life balance? Because they want all these things, but they've got to balance that with all the everyday things that they already have to deal with.
Absolutely. And as a matter of fact, I've got an entire chapter in my new book on life-work balance. life work balance. What is balance? Balance is helping us to walk with an equal standpoint, equilibrium, okay? So now, again, identifying what it is that I want, putting my focused attention on that so that I can generate an emotion that's going to help me to become balanced. Because when I ask you, let me ask you a question as I'm answering this. Pamela, when I say point to yourself, where would you point? Just say here. And it's amazing you didn't point here.
Right.
But
and I think the only reason is because I've learned that from you already.
But most people, you know, they generally, when I say, okay, point to yourself, they point here.
Right.
Because this is our core value. This is our heart space. This is where we are balanced. This is our balancing piece. And the reason why we're so unbalanced or imbalanced is because we're in our head. And in my research, I found that we have over 60,000 thoughts in a day. Imagine that. And most of them are based in fear. Fear-based thoughts.
Wow.
Okay, out of fear, what is the fear-based thoughts? I'm overwhelmed, I'm frustrated, I'm disappointed, I'm bored, I'm this, I'm pessimistic, or this would never happen. These are rooted in fear. Now, on the other side of the balancing scale is love. Love casts out fear. So now how do I become balanced? I've got to align with that which I love, knowing, the Bible says be still and know. Know in the Greek is to allow. Knowing that God has me. So if we become unbalanced, it's because we are following those fear-based thoughts that's getting us away from who we really are. We're up here in our head, and there's no way that we're going to balance that way.
Wow. We're getting a lot of information, and I know we're not even going to have enough time to talk about it all, but there is something that you've mentioned in a event that I've been at with you, and that's emotional intelligence. So now explain to everyone, I hope you all are taking notes, explain to everyone emotional intelligence.
And that comes right back to it. Emotional intelligence is the intelligent flow of awareness and insight that we experience when our mind and emotions are brought into balance through a self-initiated process. Now, this form of awareness is experienced as direct, intuitive knowing that is beneficial for ourselves and others. So when I know, when I'm feeling the love, I'm receiving an intuitive knowing that doesn't come from my head, it comes from my heart. And again, another principle that I stand on, that God speaks, he says that my thoughts are not your thoughts. My ways are not your ways. They're far above. So if God's thoughts are not our thoughts and his ways are not our ways, what are God's thoughts and ways? Who is God? He's love. When Jesus put it this way, what things soever you desire, stop. When you pray, stop. Believe that you receive it and you shall have it. So what is he saying? Whatsoever things means there are no limits, which is why I put abundance. We live in an abundant universe. But if we're focusing on lack and we're focusing on what is, we're going to get more of what is. So emotional intelligence is knowing how to emotionally operate in an intelligent way, which means, okay, something has happened in my life experience, like you say, life has happened. Do I get caught up in what is because of who I am? See, we don't know who we are. We don't understand the power with which we are created, and we are created in the image of the Most High God, which is all powerful. And we co-create with him by putting our attention on things. And I like to say that wherever your attention goes, your what? Energy flows. So if I'm focusing on something that just happened that I'm not satisfied with or that has caused me to get off balance, I'm going to get more of it. But emotional intelligence is that intelligent flow of awareness and insight, which means I've stopped. I've recognized the contrast in my life. I've eliminated the contrast, and I've, with clarity, put my sole attention on that which I want. And by law, it has to flow to me.
So you just tied it all together. You got the emotional intelligence, we've got life work balance, and then it tied right back to that law of attraction.
It is. Everything is based on the law of attraction. The law of attraction is the most powerful law. No. Let me repeat that. There's only one law in this universe. It's the law of attraction. It is the law of love. Anything less than that It's a disconnect from it.
Okay.
Period.
Okay.
So when we're not walking in love, then we have disconnected from who we really are, because we are created in love. So there's only one law. God, when He created this universe, He didn't create bad.
Right.
Just read the first book of the Bible. It says it was all good. Who made it bad?
Right.
It's your perception. What is perception? We can go on and on.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. I'm just sitting here.
Perception is false. Perception can be based in error.
Yes.
When the Bible says, "Be not conformed to this world," He wasn't talking about the earth.
Right. Right.
He was talking about a system of thought. Because the next verse says, "Be ye transformed by what? The renewing or the reprogramming of your mind."
Right.
And how do you do that?
Right.
Through your heart, connecting to God.
Right. Wow. Now bring that back around for me from when you mentioned why you started Abundant Life Coaching and the businesses and graduates from Entrepreneur Development Network and having their business plan. First, describe what a business plan is.
Yes.
But then how all of that ties in, and with them utilizing that business plan and really getting to that point of getting their business out there and going back to our acting and believing and receiving.
Absolutely. The reason why I went into coaching, like I said, my husband and I, Jerome Edmondson, has been training entrepreneurs. We have thousands of entrepreneurs out there. But then there were some who didn't graduate our course, didn't finish the curriculum, or didn't start business. So I would ask them, why didn't you start it? I didn't believe I could.
Right.
Belief. Belief. So then I went to study the laws. Father, why is it that, because they see a cash flow projection that their startup fee or cost maybe $250,000.
Right.
Oh, I don't have that in my account, so I don't believe it.
Right.
So the coaching was started a few years ago to help those individuals, not just in business, but that was my main reason, because of the business training we've done, is to help them to connect with that belief. And align with that so that they can start run, because our whole motto with EDN is learn, launch, run, and grow.
Right.
So they can launch that business and they can run it efficiently and of course grow it and sell it and become those millionaires that they desire to be.
Exactly. Wow, that is fantastic. And I know you work with a lot of different types of businesses, and a lot of people don't understand some of the terminology, like we mentioned business plan. Even when we talk about industries, I think that often gets confused. Explain that a little bit.
First of all, when you start a business, you're going into an industry that already exists. So the way our process goes, we train entrepreneurs in business planning. Every week you're going to write one section of the business plan. And most entrepreneurs are really afraid of that term, or they come to us, oh, I need a loan. No. A business plan is not just for a loan. It's a roadmap for your success. So if you're entering an industry that already exists, where do you see your business fitting in that industry? More importantly, how is that industry trending? Is it stable? Is it declining? Is it growing? Are there enough customers in that industry so that you can make a living from? Then there are the competitors. What is your competitive advantage in that industry? So we start off with understanding how to research the industry, where your business is going to fit in that industry. Are you going to be one of the big ones? Are you going to be the smallest one? No, there's a difference between a Walmart and a Nordstrom's, period. They understood industry. Walmart said, I'll be the cheapest one out there. So if you walk into Nordstrom's with that mindset, it's not going to align. So everything you do in your business has to align with your mission and your vision. Where do you see yourself? What are your core values in your business? So every week we help entrepreneurs put together one section of the business plan. And I would also like to add, I just joined another organization that helps small businesses, especially women. It's Women About Biz.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So I asked, go to Women About Biz and / Alena Edmondson. So we can help you, and these are for the micros and even those who have been in business, with resources, and then we can share together and work together so that we can all grow.
That's fantastic. And see, everyone, this is how everything ties together, because Trina Newby with Women About Business has been on the show before, and we bring you some fantastic guests, and I know you all are already excited, and I know that everyone's going to want to talk with you more to really take their business to not even the next level, but a different level. Let everyone know how they can get in touch with you.
I can be reached at 1-888-959-8896. Or you can reach me at my website, which is AbundantLifeCoachingLLC.com. or AlenaEdmondson.com.
Okay, fantastic. Everyone, make sure that you all watch this episode again. If you didn't have your pens out, get them out the next time that you watch this episode on demand at bizlinks.tv. And thank you so much, Alena, for joining us. And I look forward to having you on again, because I know there's so much more that we can talk about, and we can really get into the nitty-gritty of all of this. But you all be sure to reach out to Alena and just contact her, learn more how you can take your business to a new level.
Yes.
And thank you so much for joining us on That's My Biz, the Internet Business Showcase for entrepreneurs, small businesses, and associations. We will see you next time at bizlinks.tv. Thank you for joining us. Today's show can be viewed on demand on our website at www.bizlinks.tv. If you are interested in having your products, services, or special cause showcased on our program, submit an inquiry to that'smybiz@bizlinks.tv. In addition, information on advertising and hosting your own show can be found on our website at bizlinks.tv.